in the continuing quest to make this somehow very cheap, I've decided that I need those pieces because those are the same ones that I kind of want to use for the roof. I haven't come up with a great system for it, but in the meantime, I thought I would work on that, and I was considering putting it on a 16 by 16 plate, which I like for buildings, but in my great forethought for making a building like this, I've actually made it 18 long, I believe. Yeah. So that's not ideal. I do have a plan. It's using these great pieces that I don't have a current use for. I have 3 of them. Upside down, 1, 2 fit fairly well, and then my plan is to, since I only need 2 of these, is to offset 1 of these and then fill in the rest of the gap, so it's going to look something like that on the bottom, and then there's a fill in this gap and just a little bit of gap somewhere there, and then I can add like a tree or something to the side, because the other thing that makes a building look like a building is actually the yard. So I'm going to work on doing that. This building was fairly well planned. We mentioned that once before, I think. The walls come off very nicely, so that's easy for this. Oops. Walls come apart a little easy on the front. That back one comes off. The stack of papers is of course just jumpers, so I can take those all out and set them aside. This front desk is fairly well attached and not on a ton. This shelving unit here has a little hidden spot in the back, and I don't have anything to go there, but it's kind of nice for working on stuff, of course. Again, it came off pretty easy. There's the little chair for him to work out of in red. Some blue potions. Oops, I actually broke that one, but it pops up pretty nicely too. And of course, potion cellar. So this just needs to be transferred to some other thing. Maybe I steal a couple studs off of it and rebuild the building a little bit, but I'm not feeling that adventurous, or maybe I am. So just rebuilding the floor didn't go very well. I messed up a lot of stuff. I actually ended up finding a roof for it though. It's just I think that's a 33-degree slant. It looks pretty close to that if it's not. The building isn't necessarily final. It could have more stuff to do later. I'm not in love with the awnings. I did use these bricks. These are really fun slope bricks. They have like a ridge in the middle there. Send them that a little bit. Kind of a fun one. And it just, I don't know what that's used for. I'm not positive if that would have helped with, you might see up here there's some gaps from the, between the roof and the red slope pieces. I'm not 100% sure what I could have done about that. So I'm going to go ahead and start going from the outside what needs to be done still. So on the front, I'd like a sign here. I'm probably going to do it pretty simple, but red bricks surrounding some kind of thing. This would actually be the street side, so this side is going to get a little built up maybe, and then down to a street. It doesn't exactly matter, but so you'd be walking along and then you turn down the alley and into the shop you could go. So it is a potion shop, so I'd like something like potions like that. I might put something up here too, and these awnings definitely could change. I would like to figure out if I could put an awning above that window as well, but it's not as important. Speaking of windows, this one needs a red window frame, and the front one could use yellow panes. It has the green shutters, but it has a pane of glass. I'm not sure if I like the actual pane or the yellow ones. That window is very loose, it just flops out. So we'll start with the second floor. Inside of here, there is a little bit of storage. You can kind of see that here. There's a spot for a ladder to be attached. I have not put the ladder in yet. And that's kind of it. It's overall, floor footprint of the building is smaller than the original was, so it's so I had to move some stuff around to make the whole thing work. Now, this is a thing that I've definitely seen a lot of people do, but I put it on tiles and just a few studs to make the top kind of come up, and it kind of does. There it is. It's not the most solid build, so take a quick look at that all taken apart. You can see in there very well. The windows kind of whatever, but we can close it up and it's nice enough. I'd like to get these in 1x3s so I can make the slopes take up less of the actual room in there, and that's kind of it. But it looks fine from the outside. I could definitely put a little more up here. It's a little hard for a figure to stand up when they're when the roof's on. You got a little bit of room. Just about there is this far. Nah, you can see him peeking up, so you gotta crouch. But oh well. So that's the floor, and then the bottom of the roof, I forgot, so let's grab that real quick, can just slot in there, and it's designed so that it can't slide farther down. It can go up a little bit, but it can't go farther down than it's supposed to be. There's a little bit of overhang on the top half there, which I might want to work down just so it's flush on this side, and then all the rain could come down the other side. Anyways, the actual floor plan. So, a good view from the top here. There's the paver still, there's the counter. There's no room to get through there to the back, so I might need to figure out a hinging system in the counter. You can see that there's still some tiles that aren't quite right, and those are definitely not all square plates, I guess. That's what they are, plates that hold the corners on. So let's come back and we'll go through the side here. That's the front side. You can see that it's still the same shelves. They're still on the back there, a little hidden area. And then kind of that's most of it will come from the side here, and you can see the chair just peeking out in there. There's not a ton of room to work around, but I kind of like the small scale like that. It's fun. So I think this was a successful building. It's just a little potion shop. It doesn't need a whole lot. It's got storage now, which was something that I wanted, and I think that hit all the things that I wanted with it, except for the couple things I mentioned. Oh, you haven't seen it from the outside, like assembled, quote unquote. It's pretty plain. I might try to put some kind of decorations and stuff on those sides just to make it a little more interesting, but that's... Oh, I lost a piece. But that's what it is for now, and I'm happy with it for the most part, so I think that I can continue on to another building. So if I can figure out a way to make those gaps go away, I might. But anyways, that's it, guys. Thanks for watching today's video. I could have shown you more building, I guess, but it gets long enough as it is, and I kind of, when you get inspired and whatnot. Follow me and stuff. Bye.